yourself something funky.
Evening, Stu. Good to see you back tagging away from his wild parties that he's been having in the last couple of days. We do have a couple of technical issues tonight. Hopefully they'll resolve themselves. If not, we'll do what we usually do and puddle our way through. So, the Spice Freak is back.
Hello there. Hopefully you can see me just fine, hear me just fine, everything. I'm not using my usual setup because for some reason my software's gone to hell. It does not work at all anymore, and I do not know why, because I have changed next to nothing.
It's looking better than it was earlier back screen. At least your lips are back in sync.
Cool. However, we are getting the previous problem we had of the color balance just shifting wildly whenever it feels like it.
I'm actually enjoying that. It just keeps shifting between like a purple to a blue, and
yeah, we got the vivid, and we got the weird grayed out.
It's actually quite relaxing.
It's a mess.
That was an itch I didn't need.
I don't know what to do about it.
I actually quite like it.
I just want things to work.
I know it's annoying when you've spent all that time updating your software and then all of a sudden everything goes.
Well, I mean, my screen died, and then my computer died, and I had to sort this, that, the other out. It's taken me ages to get back to a reasonable working state. Then I was ill, and now we got this.
What we'll have to do is spend a couple of hours tomorrow and just play around and get it working so it works properly, because it was when you had all the software on, that was quite bad.
I need to be streaming elsewhere tomorrow, so.
Ooh. So you need to get it on for tonight then, don't you, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, after the stream, if you need any help, let me know and we'll play around and see if we can.
You need to sort the software, and I don't know what you can do about that.
Could you not revert it back to a previous?
I've been running on the exact same version of the software for months because I know if I update it, it will wreck something.
Anyway, the guys here are here for Chilli and not computer related, so this should move on.
Apologies for the long tech complaints.
Yeah, we've just been having a bit of a whinge.
Yeah, but last time I did manage to be here, we had a whole load of stuff from a cheese company, right? A random cheese shop that I found in, what was it called? It's beginning with D. Could have been Derby, I don't know. Anyway, figured, therefore, it'd be a good thing to start with another cheese today. This is the Razor Sharp Cheddar from the Peaky Blinder brand. Originally, I thought it was Peaky Blinders, as in the show. It is not. Apparently, this brand has existed since 1920, and they make a variety of different alcohols, including an IPA that goes into this cheese.
You know the myth of the Peaky Blinders was actually around long before the show.
Yeah, I am aware of that. I just made the assumption that this was connected to that, and it's not.
No, if it's been going since 1920, it's probably got a better connection to the Peaky Blinders than the TV show did.
Yeah, probably. So this is their Razor Sharp Cheddar with Peaky Blinder Real Ale from Sadler's and dried crushed chili peppers. The ingredients are cheddar cheese containing milk, obviously. Then Peaky Blinder Real Ale, which contains water, malted barley, apparently 5 different types, hops, and again, 5 different types of those. Dried crushed chili peppers. I was hoping for some actual type of chili pepper to be mentioned, but no luck there. Yeast, a starter culture, salt, preservative, and potassium sorbate.
Sounds like a standard cheese with a little bit of a chili and beer mash.
Yep, and a little bit of extra yeast too. And yeah, for anyone wondering, I picked this up at Heron Foods, who are basically just a discount freezer shop. tend to get end of line things, but they've had this in for the last week or so, so I suspect it's going to be around a little bit longer still. Turns out to be good. It's a fairly soft cheddar, as you can see from the fact that I've already bent the corner, just getting it out of the package.
It looks pretty orangey too.
Yeah, it's very yellow with definite orange staining around all of the chili segments.
Actually, that looked quite soft for a cheddar. It's not a dry cheddar. It's a softer.
Yeah, it is a very soft cheddar. Not the softest cheddar I've had. Close. There's a nice little bit there. Nothing crazy or anything, but I'd say more than your average pepper jack or similar.
Cheese, beers, and chili. Yeah, does sound like.
Flavor-wise, definitely a little dry in the way that some beers or IPAs or similar can be, but otherwise very pleasant. Definitely a soft cheddar kind of flavor to it. Definitely taste the red chili. I mean, I'm not sure what more to say than that. I don't think it's overly beer flavored, but a little bit of it in there, not bad at all.
Heat wise,
Yeah, I like that as a cheese. Heat wise, as said, more than your average chili cheese, definitely. Not as much as your extra hot chili cheeses normally are. So somewhere in the middle. Nothing that's going to be a lot to any of you, really, but enough that it's definitely noticeable and lingers in the throat when you're done.
which is quite surprising for a budget supermarket.
Yeah. It's a good heat. It's definitely surprising. Even if it is still fairly mild. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right. Let me
It's
just
definitely
quickly grab
interesting.
the rest of what I want to talk about from off screen, and I'll be right with you. Sorry.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 I'm all alone, sitting by myself.
Got too caught up in technical difficulties and forgot that I left these just offside. Right. So,
Welcome back, dude.
first to the bunch. I'm afraid you're not going to like this, Luciano.
It's green!
It's green. This is Sauce Shop's green jalapeno sauce, and I believe they're just sauceshop.co, the website, but let me just double check if it says on the bottle here anywhere. Yeah, sauceshop.co. Not .co.uk, just .co. So it's green jalapeno chilies 48%, which is a hell of a lot of chili. Water, white grape vinegar, which is white wine vinegar by another name. Rapeseed oil, lime juice 4%, coriander 4%, garlic, and salt. So it's going to have a bit of a citrus tang. It's going to have some herbs to it. It's going to be nice and creamy, but it is going to be very, very jalapeno. Grab my spoon.
I thought you had an irresistible itch.
No, I just keep my spoons in my pocket like a crazy person.
Lesson number 1 on how to keep your spoon warm.
As you can see, pours quite well. Has a good looking consistency to it, but will definitely pour off the spoon if I hold it that way too long. Creamy, but definitely chili grains to it. And that has a lot of a kick for jalapeno. Jeez.
That caught you by surprise.
Yeah. It's definitely not. It's not habanero level, but it's also not mild.
That's jalapeno. I gave you that kick there.
It's roughly 50% jalapeno.
Still, it's still surprised it gave
lot of
you
the
that
chili.
kick.
And yeah, it's a good kick.
I'm just going to blame it because it's a green sauce.
Flavor-wise, it's very grassy, a little bit herby, a little bit creamy. I don't think it's my favorite jalapeno sauce flavor-wise, but and there are definitely situations where that's going to go well. I do like it over a jacket potato with tuna, say. And that's where I've been using it so far.
I was thinking salad dressing.
Yeah, I could see it with the creaminess in there, yeah.
Stu Walker, the Yorkshireman, taking the mickey out of a northerner pronouncing jalapeno or jalapeno.
Yep.
You say jalapeno on a stick.
Right.
Anybody that watches Jeff Dunham doesn't understand that one.
Yeah, and sauce shops tend to be hotter than some of the others, but I wasn't expecting 48% or whatever. That's definitely a lot more than I'm used to from jalapeno sauces. Next up, we have their chocolate fudge barbecue sauce in conjunction with Get Baked, which they claim is a bakery. It's an American food diner type place, but all of it's indulgent baked food. But certainly was in Leeds for a while. I don't know if it still is.
Give me another close up of that bottle. Chocolate fudge barbecue.
Yeah, chocolate fudge barbecue. Long list of ingredients. We've got tomato puree, sugar, tamari, which is basically gluten-free soy sauce. Belgian dark chocolate. White grape vinegar again. Blackstrap molasses, which I know you enjoy. Hickory smoked water. Ginger, garlic, chipotle chili. Madagascan bourbon vanilla extract. Okay, that is the end of that. There's just a whole load of stuff in brackets. Okay, cool. Yeah. You'll see the ghost pepper one in a moment. I did pick that up because I thought people would be interested. But before we get to that, I've got this one. But I will say the ghost pepper one will also almost certainly surprise people.
Comes out chocolatey.
Yeah, it definitely comes out chocolatey. And, that's rich and shiny looking. Initial taste, definitely chocolatey, but then very quickly gets savory garlicky.
So your first taste was actually chocolate?
The first taste is chocolate, but it's gone almost instantly. You get that garlic, you get that savory. It is two very different types of rich mixed into one. And that's going to go well with something. There's going to be something that brings that together. And it's going to be gorgeous. But I don't know what that is.
Chili con carne!
It may well mix very well into a chili con carne. I know chili con carne works with both of those things, but
I always had a blob of dark chocolate in my chili con carne.
they're saying chicken tacos and burritos.
Not sure about that.
Or ribs. I don't know if I'd consider this a rib glaze personally. I think this is a very specific sauce. It needs something to pull those two sides together. Because it is remarkably savory, garlicky, rich for a barbecue sauce.
When you first described it, I was hoping it was going to be another ice cream sauce, but it's definitely not that.
Yeah, I was definitely hoping for something sweet and chocolatey, but would sort of go the same route as some of the cherry barbecues, but with the chocolate instead of the fruit. And for an instant, it seems like it's going to do that, but then it just completely swerves the other way.
Interesting. It's a curveball.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but it probably will find its way into con carne at some point.
I reckon chili con carne's got to be tried.
And then, we were talking about a ghost pepper sauce. This is their ghost pepper ketchup. Now, I've had their habanero ketchup, and let me tell you, It is not what you expect when you hear habanero ketchup. Their habanero ketchup contains no tomato. The habanero is the only fruit in it. And it is practically as hot as a ghost pepper sauce.
That is basically what it says, habanero ketchup. It's ketchup made with
Yeah.
habaneros.
Would I recommend this chocolate fudge barbecue? If you have a specific use for it, possibly. But in general, probably not.
Not yet. Get back from after he's experimented a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably the better way to put it. But yeah. Getting back to this one, this is basically their habanero ketchup again, but with the habaneros replaced with ghost peppers. And the smell is definitely fragrant ghost pepper. Very that floral ghost pepper placenta smell.
The colour, when you held it up there after you tilted the bottle, the colour looks very, very red.
It does, doesn't it? It's a nice warm orangey red, but it is very red. Ingredients wise, where have we got the ingredients list? Ghost pepper chilies, 40%, which is surprisingly low actually from what I know about it. Sugar, white grape vinegar, onion, water, salt, and garlic. I really liked the habanero ketchup. I used it a lot, but it also hurt a lot. It was a very strong sauce.
This might be one that's good for garlic lovers, because if the ghost pepper is only 40%, the rest of the combination of what you've just read out would take a lot to pack out 60%.
Yeah, you'd think that onion and garlic would do a lot if that's the case.
There would need to be a lot of onion and garlic, so this one might be for those onion and garlicky lovers. But we're hot.
I can't tilt it any more than that, I'm afraid, but you get to see it's relatively thin for a ketchup, actually. But it still sort of sticks to the spoon.
It'd still pick up on a chip.
Yep. And you can taste every part of the ghost pepper in that. Definitely.
No.
And then the heat grows.
If the first taste you get is the ghost pepper, that just sounds like chili mash to me, because if it's ketchup, it's basically ghost pepper with vinegar and sugar, and that might be just me.
It's not as acidic as just having straight mash. But heat-wise, flavor-wise, it's otherwise very similar.
What it sounds like when you read it out, 40% is chilies, the rest is garlic, onions, vinegar, sugar.
Yes, Kevin, it's hot.
It's going to be great for those ones that like the acidic side of the sauces. I'm not a big fan of Tabasco sauce and stuff like that.
I don't find this that acidic. It's definitely not nearly as acidic as Tabasco.
That's good news. That's a bonus, because that's where I was seeing it, somewhere around about there.
The heat's not going away. Yeah, it's not Reaper sauce or anything, but it's a hell of a ghost.
Anybody that actually likes the taste of ghost peppers, this looks like it's definitely one for you, because the first flavour was ghost. So it's basically a ghost ketchup, which is what it's described as.
Yeah, you can taste some of the fresher, greener elements of the ghost as well in there.
That's where I would thought Charlie like a sugary chili mash. Sugary, vinegary chili mash. But no.
Absolutely, Stu. It is brutal. It is very unapologetically ghost. You know, I mentioned the onion and garlic. We talked about that a bit. I don't taste the onion and garlic.
It's the fastest I've ever seen you down a pint of milk.
I taste the ghost and just the ghost. And it's quite a sharp, stinging burn. And it just stays with you.
Looking like it's a bit of a winner, really.
No way in hell am I chugging that, Kevin.
It looks like something that would go great just splashed over the top of your pizza when you've been to the pizza shop and your pizza's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, personally, I'd want to cook it onto the pizza just to, I don't know, take a little bit of the harshness away. But that's just me. Depends how you like your chili heat. Some people might want to just pour it on.
I
But
wouldn't say pour it, and that's why I use the word splash, as in little
okay, yeah.
splash.
Maybe not pour too liberally. Maybe be careful with it, but yeah, I could definitely see this going on a pizza.
There you go. It's one to rescue your Friday night treat when your pizza turns up and it's a little bit sad.
It's starting to die down now. Which, given that I've had a little bit of time and an entire pint of milk, is saying a lot.
That's the fastest I've actually seen you go through a pint of milk.
Yeah. And that hits hard. It hits you right away, and you think, oh, that's relatively mild for a ghost, but it's still a good heat. And then you get a few seconds to contemplate it, and then it just ramps right up.
It basically is exactly what it says. It's a ghost ketchup. It's ketchup made with ghost peppers.
Yeah. It's a lot, that one.
Actually, it sounds like, when you've got tomato soup as well and you've got a cold and you can't taste nothing.
Oh, yeah, that'll fix that, definitely. Actually, as a thin one that's... it's got a few seeds in it, but otherwise it's blended very smooth. If I give you a close-up, can you see... Yeah, you can kind of see the really fine grains on there.
Yeah, I can see them.
So yeah, that will stir into a soup really nicely. You make a very good point there. And thus it'll also work with things like your pho, your various noodle dishes.
I'm a bit unusual with the noodle dishes. While I say I don't like sweet sauces, when it comes to noodle dishes, I do like to put a bit of sweet sauce in there.
Well, if you want a sweet sauce for your noodle dishes, there's always Chili Pepper Company, is it? No, not Chili Pepper Company. Chili Project. Chili Project, they're the ones.
Yeah.
Their caramelized garlic one. I forget the name right now because I'm busy suffering from ghost pepper, but that is absolutely gorgeous over that kind of thing.
And we've just recently discovered the Yo-Yo Lao.
Yes.
Whilst I've always thought I hated ginger, apparently I'm a bit wrong, because when you stick the ginger sauces in a stir fry, it just...
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Ginger's okay if you know what you're doing.
I've not actually had the duck one, Stu. No, I forget the name of it. Let me look it up real quick.
Charlie says the Chili Project Badger with noodles is fab.
I'm gonna have to look at their full range now and see what's
Chili
what
and tomato soup works great, Stu. I don't like tomato soup very much, but every now and then.
Oh, speaking of things on pizzas, that gherkin ketchup was fantastic.
I'll just take your word for that one.
I didn't think I'd like it because I'm not that keen on gherkins, but the sweetness really takes the edge off the savory green and the vinegar.
For me, I was just never going to go there. I don't like gherkins and it's green.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like,
Yeah, actually, I can see Badger over them, definitely. Badger, and I think it was Hot Fox, are
that's what
definitely
Kevin just
really
said.
good, sweet and sour style almost. Definitely work well with your noodle dishes. But the one I was thinking of was the Grizzly Garlic. That caramelized garlic flavor just works wonderfully there.
Yeah. Alan just said tomato soup with chili's fantastic. It is. I have to
Yeah,
agree.
it's simple, but it's good. But yeah, we got way off topic. This is, and this is not something I have a spoonful of. It is definitely something to mix into things or to splash a little bit on. And it's very, very ghost pepper, and it will add the ghost pepper you want to a dish. It definitely does what it does well. It's just the way I had it was stupid. And it's got a lot of heat that will make you suffer if you have it the way I had it.
I reckon this one's a good way of, if you're just making a bolognese or anything like that and you just want to give it a little bit of a kick, but
Yeah, absolutely.
you don't want to add it to everybody's because not everybody wants a little bit of a kick, but you could just sort yours out.
Yeah. And actually, coming back to the jalapeno one for a second, because of the creamy texture of it, that'll go really well into a guacamole or something. Add a little bit of heat to your avocado. But yeah, this is definitely the real winner of the bunch, but it is very much for the people who want it hot.
And not to just eat it off a spoon. You need to have it with your food.
Yeah.
Chili
But
nachos.
going back to our first thing, speaking of such things, the cheese was actually surprisingly good for being a cheapo shop find. So yeah, would recommend the Peaky Blinder cheese as well.
And that came from,
That came from Heron Foods, which is just a discount freezer shop.
which you find all over certain parts of Yorkshire and some parts of the northeast, but not all of it.
Right. Thank you for having some idea where it is. Because all I know is that it's in Yorkshire.
It's mainly around a lot of Yorkshire, some parts of the northeast. I think there might be a little bit in the northwest, but I can't guarantee that.
Well, I'm gonna have a tiny bit more of the cheese, and then I think we'll close out.
Charlie's got a heron, right? So where are you, Charlie? And then we'll know whereabouts there's another one. How far they go. Stu hasn't got a heron. He's like me. His nearest heron is probably Bridlington.
Yeah, it's good cheese. It's a really nice soft cheddar.
I like the dry cheddars rather than the softer ones.
I will say, actually, having had that ghost pepper, there is now basically no heat to the cheese. The ghost pepper has completely overwhelmed it, so it wasn't that much.
Right. Kevin's just said he thinks there's a heron in his local town centre. Now he's in Wales.
Oh,
That
well,
would
that's
be
a
the
long way
furthest.
from
That would be the
where I
furthest
am.
I've seen one down. I hope he's right there because that would be the furthest I've ever seen a heron.
Well, only if he shows pictures. Otherwise, you won't
Yeah,
see it at all.
picture proof or we don't believe it. Cheers, Stu, dude.
Yeah, that's it
Oh.
from me. And
Whoa, you're not leaving me. You've got to do the outro. See you in a bit, guys.
I was going to do the outro. I was going to be like, hey, that's it from me. And that's probably it from Stu as well. And
Oh, well, I'll stay then
call it
if you
there.
weren't going to run off and dump me.
No, no, don't be ridiculous.
I keep doing it to other people, so I keep expecting. Well, they've started doing it to me. They see it coming towards the end, and they all just run off and leave me, and I'm stuck. So I thought you
Nah,
were
that's
doing the
rude.
same.
But yeah, I'm going to call it there. So,
Yep.
so we
In
head
that
off.
case, good night from him. Good night from me. See you later.
Oh, okay, he's doing it anyway. Great.